Up a sofa. We're going to tear up a sofa. We're also going to cut a huge piece of wood that is from a very old, like 60, 100-year-old bed frame, which I think is hardwood. And I might also go outside and try to cut up some of the bird of paradise, the rooting, to see how the blade works. So we are using a Milwaukee. This is a 9-inch 711. Now, I didn't know what blade to use because a lot of people online are saying they're cutting up their sofa with a Sawzall. This is an old sofa. This isn't some of the newer stuff that you buy at the cheapy stores that you can break with your hands. You can see this has got a lot of wooding. This is probably 100 years old. And I need to get rid of this stuff. Cutting up the sofa, I don't want the person to know that I'm cutting it up. I'm taking it out in pieces from the garage and putting it in the trash. So that's the whole point behind this. Tearing it apart piece by piece. We got all the springs. This is an old heavy-duty sofa. Make sure you wear some masking if you're pulling out all this garbage that's in these sofas. It's very bad on your lungs and will probably cause you permanent damage. So now I've got an area like this. I know this is... You got to be careful. You don't want to hurt yourself. So you're going to want to wear some goggles, hearing protection maybe. This is wood, and again, these are nails over here. You can see, obviously, these are nails. So you can use a regular Sawzall blade, a bimetal blade. It's going to cut. I'm not cutting the springs. I'm pulling those out. It's probably going to cut through the nails, and you'll go through a bunch of blades. It will chip the teeth. You can just use the regular wood blade, and if it hits the nail, it might damage the blade. So I bought this 711. I know I'm talking a lot. I bought this blade. I looked online. Then I went over to Home Depot, and the guy said, buy this thing. This will cut it up. Why am I doing this? Because I don't want to make a lot of noise. I don't want to make a big mess. I don't want to tear the wood apart with a crowbar. I got to do this really quietly. I want to break this up into little pieces so I can sneak it into the trash can every week and get rid of this thing. So, and like this is probably a foamy thing over here. This is a big foam piece. Yeah, I could use a Sawzall on that. We got some burlap over there. And then we've got the wood frame underneath. It's kind of hard to see the wood frame. So I'm going to go, and the thing is, we got nails in here. There's nails and there's little brads and there's hooks, so you got to be really careful. But I'm going to run the Sawzall on a very slow speed, and I just want to see what is it going to do, because if it breaks this stuff up and I can start breaking this frame into little pieces, then I can sneak this thing out and get it in the trash before they know that their 100-year-old sofa from the estate is gone now, and I don't have to deal with it when they're gone. So I'm trying to get rid of it now rather than later. Trying to make life easy on myself. Here we go. Let's test it out with the Sawzall. Hard to do this myself. Let's see. It's very dim in here. We got the Sawzall. This is the blade that I was using just to see if it would work. A pruning blade. It's not cutting this material at all. Handsaw is not really working on this stuff. You can see I try to cut it over here. So the pruning blade, I didn't even mess with the bimetal and the wood on this thing because I know it's going to be really dangerous. So here's the blade that we're testing out. I'll plug this in. So you can see over here, I just want to see, is it going to cut through this material? I know it's not that rough of a material. A good cutter should break through this, but the saws I was using did not. And then after that, I don't know what's supporting the base of this with this burlap. And then we've got, I move some of the material away. Then we've got this wood frame. So if this cuts through this wood frame, then I will easily be able to tear this thing apart, put it in pieces in the trash over the next couple weeks or months, and get rid of it. So I've got the blade inside the Sawzall. There we go. I'm going to plug it in now. And if you like my videos, if they help you, I don't care. If you want to do a thumbs up, a like, a share, a donation, that's up to you. If you don't, that's up to you also. Okay, so the first test we're going to do is, this should be easy. I don't want to hit the metal spring. I haven't pulled out the bottom springs yet. So let's see, what does it do with, how easy is it to cut through? This should be very simple, to cut through this little piece of material. I'm going to go slow. I don't want it to be loud. I don't want them They're inside the house. I don't want them to hear me doing this. Now, this material is not really that hard. I don't know if there's a metal base on here or a spring. I don't know why this is so hard to break through. This, I don't know. This is supposed to rip thing. Ooh, is that a spider? That's a spider. Never let a spider bite you, because if it breaks the skin, it's going to poison you. You're going to have to go to the hospital. All spiders. The minute they break the skin and get into the blood, you need to get to the ER. All right, I don't know why this didn't cut. This should have just gone right through. Are you kidding me? Why? What is in this material? Okay, ow. Am I cutting through a piece of metal? There's nothing in here. Okay, let's try the wood. That's what I care about. If I can break this wood apart, that's why I bought it. So I can squeeze this into the trash can. What does it do? Whoa. Whoa, is that kickback. Okay, I don't want anybody to tell me that I don't know how to use a saw. Oh! There go my nuts. Oh my god, what the hell am I cutting into in here? What in the world? Oh, it's another piece of wood. It's the whole frame. Oh my god, and then we've got another base. Yikes. Alright, let's try to get this blade in here. This was supposed to be the blade that was going to save my Tushus Malicious. I can't even see what I'm doing. That's... What am I hitting? Oh my god, there go my... This is dangerous. Alright, let's try from the bottom and see what happens. I know this is even stupider to do. Dumber? Look at that. That's why I bought it. There you go. There's something in here. There's another block of wood on the bottom. Alright, the saw works really good. The saw blade, I'm very happy with it. We have proven that this thing works. It doesn't work on this junk. I don't know what is in here. But if I can break this frame apart like that, and I'm sure I could have done that with the wood blade too. A lot of kicking, but this is the secret to get this thing done. I just have to tear out the springs and get it all done. Let's check out another piece of wood and see what I can do with that. Curious, so let's use this wood saw because I don't have a knife. What was in here that was stopping this power blade from cutting? Look at that. There was nothing in here at all. On the bottom, there's a metal piece. Okay, that's what's going on. There is a metal... Yeah, and so the blade was probably spinning against that thing. At least I know what's going on here. This saw blade is going to be a mitzvah tav. I'll get my job done. It's going to take me a few weeks to get this sofa done, but we are good. Let's just check this out. We'll get the knife over here, and we'll go and we'll cut that string, and we'll cut this string. Wow, this sofa was put together well. Couple 100-year-old sofa, and it's stuck inside this material here. That's what's going on. Metal rod, so this big rod. The rain is coming in. I just want to test this out really fast and see how this is going to work. I know this is very unsafe the way I've got this positioned. I'm trying to get it so I can make a good video. I'd kill myself to make a good video. This is not safe, but this will be a good test. This will be a bad test. This is dangerous. What in the world am I doing? This is not safe at all. Let's see. How do we do? How are we going to do with this? Whoa, do I need my hearing protection. All right. I'm not going to do this because I don't have my hearing protection. I just wanted to make a quick video to see how this blade did. And in about 5 seconds, we've got straight through, shaking all over the place because it's not supported properly. And I don't have my hearing gear on, so So far, 2 tests. I'm very happy with the blade. Let's do one third one. I don't think it's going to do good on this, but we'll test it out. Okay, I'm probably going to ruin the blade, but I don't care. This is a test. I've got 4 other blades. So this is the bulb. This is the root system of a bird of paradise. And I'm going to be testing out this blade to see, will it cut anything? Because right now, I'm mostly dealing with probably 50% dirt and 50% root, and nothing is breaking this apart. So let's do a test. Here we go. Here we go. Just make sure we don't lose the camera. There we go. Alright, what happens with this thing? Let's put on the hearing protection and see what happens. It would help if I plugged in the saw. Alright, let's see what it does. So far, nothing has worked. Absolutely nothing. What's this going to do? A lot better than everything else so far. Unbelievable. Cutting it up. What a great blade. I'm very happy. This is well worth the money. I've spent days trying to tear this apart. Oh. Look at this. Unbelievable. Look at this. I am so happy. Well, spend the money, buy the blade. Look at this. Oh, am I happy. The ground is kind of wet. It's kind of hard to get in here. It's not really safe. Absolutely remarkable. I wish I had a tool. Well, I do have a tool, but I wish I had a tool to move some of the stuff out of the way. Remarkable. Absolutely incredible. I could not cut this with a handsaw. Nothing that I used was working. So I'm happy. I am happy. Get on the other side and try to break out some of this. It's going to rain very soon. Trying to get this done before it starts to pour. Don't want to get mud on my shoes, but that's how it goes. breaking it all the way down to the dirt. And then after that, then I can just dig it out. The saw blade is worth every penny. Go buy it. Just saying, what in the world is this? This is a sofa. This is a sofa that is in a garage, and I'm going to have to take care of it when the person dies. This is part of the estate, and there's no way to get it out of the garage without moving everything out that's in front of this to the door. I don't want to sell this because there's been talk of selling this for many years and it was never done. At this point, I just want to get rid of it. So the whole thing is, how do you tear apart a sofa? You need to be really careful. You get this, I don't know if that's fiberglass or what, I have no idea. You don't want that in your lungs. You definitely want to mask up. The less you have to deal with that, the better. There's some nasty black stuff that's inside the side panels. You need to be careful with that too. So, and is this the cotton? That's the, I think that's cotton. Padding, that's upholstery padding. You need to be careful with that also. You're going to run into a whole bunch of spring work. And these springs are held with, they're all tied together with this thick rope. This like thick string, really thick string. So, my advice to you, if you have to do this, is get a knife, break through the top cloth. After you break through the top cloth, which is this pink stuff over here in my case, you're going to be dealing with this burlap, and you're going to be dealing with this type of padding, and this cotton type of padding, and as I said, there's some like black, it's kind of like a wire type stuff, black wire material, nasty, filthy material. What else? So you get the knife, you start cutting, and pull out all your padding, and you're going to end up with like these burlap straps that they weave in and out. You can get a good pair of scissors, cut that stuff. Leave the frame until the very last. There's a lot of string. The string is a nightmare. The string, this thin string, ties up all of this junk, all of this, well, your sofa might vary, but it's a nightmare. If you can put it outside to get fresh air, good. Either way, wear a protective mask. There is a lot of dirt in these sofas. There's a lot of junk, a lot of filth, a lot of material. You don't, once it goes in your lungs, it's never going out. It's going to be in there forever, for life. Things that I would suggest you have: an upholstery knife, a pair of scissors, good scissors, so you can cut the stuff up. You want to have gloves. Eye protection. These things, when you start taking some of these springs out, things go flying all over the place. Little clips that hold it down. Wood. The wood's going to be the very last thing that I'm worried about, because I can cut that and nobody's going to hear it. Nobody's going to hear the saw. As far as this padding, I just thought, leave this stuff alone right now until the very end, so you don't have to deal with it. For me, little jigsaw, which I haven't used yet, which will be for the wood framing. I also bought a for the SAWZALL. I bought this. Haven't really needed it yet, but that's again going to be for the framing, where there are lots of nails, and again, you want to wear protective gear. Keep it on a slow speed so things don't go flying all over the place. Bolt cutters. I bought bolt cutters when I was working on a mattress, and I cut up all the framing in the mattress, and then for the next month, my shoulders and hands and arms and wrists were killing me because it was repetitive cutting, and it hurt. Over here, we've got a a zillion of these springs all tied together. So if you can get in there, and it's freezing out here. If you see, let me show you. So everything's tied with string. And then you've got, oh, utility knife. Definitely want a utility knife. So you can see over here, the spring is mounted. We got a clip over here. So I could go in there and remove the clip, which is probably going to go flying, or I can just get a scissors and cut this webbing, and then the spring comes out. So take your time. I watch all these videos. You got all these clowns out there trying to impress everybody with their brute force and how fast they can do stuff. And it's dangerous. Take your time. Like over here, we've got wood, we've got cloth, we've got this cotton stuff. It's all covering the nails. There's clips everywhere. It's a mess. I've already broken through to the bottom. So the more you can cut out, just take your time. You don't have to do this in a day, unless you want to be one of those YouTube idiots. And you'll get it done. Slowly throw it in the trash can if you live in the city. Don't let anybody know you're doing this if you don't want them to know that you're destroying their $2,000 antique sofa with this beautiful upholstery. Just be quiet. Don't let anybody know. And get it done. See? Like over here. We get the spring that's held down on the bottom with a clamp, so I can go on here and I can cut. Oh, I've cut part of it. I can cut that. And then over here, you get this big, huge frame. All of these are going to have this big metal, and you can go in there and pull all of this out as one piece, or you just get these bolt cutters and you snap it over here and you're done, and you pull it out piece by piece. Over here, lots of nails, lots of wood. Be really careful. That's why I bought the Sawzall blade, which is made, it's like a demo blade. It's made to rip the pieces of wood that have nails in them. But I'm going to be really careful because there again are lots of chemicals. I'm already at the back of the sofa. See, if I go in here, we got more padding. So my goal now is to leave as much padding alone as I can. Get the framing out. I just want to get out. Once I get out this wiry stuff, this nightmare, again, you can see I've got this pull apart. I can cut the framing, I can cut the web, and I can tear this stuff out piece by piece, throw it in the trash can week after week, and the whole goal is to make sure that the people who are leaving this stuff to you, so that you're going to turn around and sell it or donate it, just make sure that you tear it apart and throw it in the garbage. Because believe me, if you are left with an antique piece, somebody's going to go in there and try to get it for next to nothing, and then they're going to turn around and sell it and make a fortune off of you. So just say, hello landfill, goodbye world. Peace out. There it is, people. Lots of springs, lots of burlap, and a sofa that is a shell of what it was a couple days ago. Now, all I really have left is a frame. I've got some upholstery over here. I've got a frame, so I can use this handsaw, I can use the jigsaw, I can use this Sawzall. The less noise, the better. The less mess, the better. And I can just start cutting this down into really tiny pieces, really small pieces, so that I can get most of the frame in the garbage can over the few weeks. And like the side leg over here, if you get a big dumpster or something, it's not a big deal. But again, you don't want this garbage in your lungs.